the Pilwing Kingston. And
Pilwing Kingston.
Yes. And unfortunately, it's not Jamaica. It's Kingston in Surrey.
I know.
And
we're in our vests. It's not that hot. And we're in a seedy alley.
And it's a seedy alley.
And we're the drunk interviewer.
It's not an album alley. It's a seedy alley. And we were talking to Praying Mantis, Tino and Chris Troy, original members of the band. How you two guys?
Actual original members? Yes, we're doing very fine. I mean, a bit pissed, but
aren't we all? Me too. Enjoy the party. And you know, just done a great set tonight. And here we are in 2011, and it's done an EP recently. Metamorphosis. Tell us
Metamorphosis. No,
Metamorphosis.
Yes. Metamorphosis.
How do you pronounce it?
Well, there are
Metamorphosis.
two different types. I mean, Mike's is in metamorphosis.
He's gay. Metamorphosis.
Yeah,
Metamorphosis.
Yes.
Nothing to do with Tony Hart and Morph and
No.
Sort of rolls off the tongue like a couple of things.
But the EP is like you recorded 5 old classic tracks. And, tell us, why have you done it exactly?
Well, it was a 30-year anniversary, and we decided we're going to do these songs with a new lineup. But the new lineup isn't anymore anyway, is it? So we had Benji Reed playing on the first album. There's Metamorphosis. So it was songs of yesteryear, basically recorded from that 1980 period, and just beforehand, I think 1979 is when we did Praying Mantis, wasn't it? The song Praying Mantis, and 30 Pieces of Silver before they came out on the album. No, 30 Pieces of Silver is coming out on Metamorphosis 2, which is going to happen imminently. We're going to record Metamorphosis 2 in at the end of May, bank holiday weekend. We're going into a studio, Pinewood Studio, place called Phoenix Studios. That's associated with Pinewood Studios. We're going to do this, so we're going to release it as a double CD in Japan as well.
Oh, great! And like you say, you know, because you've got this great lineup at the moment. He did the Sanctuary album, fantastic album, and like you've got this lineup with Mike Freeland and the other guys, and it's like Praying Mantis finally has got a steady lineup. You know, this current lineup has been together longer than any other lineup.
Apart from the drummer.
Yeah.
Drummers,
yeah, Spinal Tap.
The thing is, with us, it used to be singers, but Mike stuck it with us, which is great.
Yeah.
And the thing with Benji is, I mean, he went off to do, because we weren't gigging, he went off to do the Let's Zepp thing, you know, a tribute band.
Yeah.
And it was just clashing with a lot of the gigs that we were doing, and we had to get someone else in to carry the gigs across. But I mean, it was it's a difficult situation.
I mean, at this point in time, obviously, you know, we need to progress. As Tina said, we're going to do the Metamorphosis 2. Metamorphosis 2. But it's a difficult situation because I know he wants to be, you know, in the band at the same time. We've got to sort of move on. So effectively, I think it may be the case that we've got 2 different drummers in each of the, you know, between 1 and 2.
So has Benji left the band officially, or?
No, that's the thing is.
We haven't fallen out with Benji. Benji's great. I mean, I love Benji to bits, but I said to Benji, you can't have your cake and eat it. You know, we've got to work as well. I know you need the money, and I mean, he's getting a good wage from working with the Zeps, but at the same time, we've got to progress.
Yeah.
And I mean, Gary's great. I mean, Mike suggested Gary. He's worked with Gary before, and we auditioned 4 drummers on a day, and Mike. Gary came out tops out there.
Oh, without doubt.
But what was the original idea behind re-recording the old classic songs?
I think it was just the case because, you know, lots of people said that they can't actually get a hold of Some Tells No Lies anyway. And, you know, there were songs like Children of the Earth, Loves of the Grave, which, you know, obviously the classics from that album. And we thought, well, as opposed to just, you know, releasing the original one, let's release it with a bit of modernity, within it. So, with the current band lineup, and that was it really. And really, I think with all the reviews and everything we've had, it seems to have gone down the storm.
Actually, it's been some fantastic reviews.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Everywhere, in magazines, websites. I've not seen a review for it, fair enough.
We even got a 10 out of 10 out of Hungary.
Yeah, exactly.
They're hungry for it.
Well, they are totally hungry for it. And you're not alone in that, actually, because there's a lot of new wave British heavy metal bands have done that. Like Saxon redid it with the Heavy Metal Thunder compilation.
Yes.
They redid the old songs. Tigers of Pang Tang have done it with the Wildcat and Spellbound album. They're going to do it again with the Crazy Nights album. And there was a girls' school in the studio at the moment with that they were recording Hit and Run. And obviously, another reason behind that is because there's such like there's old fans like myself, but there's such a whole new generation of fans out there who are getting into the new wave British metal.
That's a great thing, I've noticed that there's a couple of people, punters down here tonight after a gig. They've come into it, and again, this is the first time I've seen this band. I've heard about the band all the time, but absolutely amazing gig, and that's great. It's nice to win new punters all the time, and I think that's what we're managing to do now. Blah 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 blah.
That's what a fan base you got, and even tonight I was speaking to someone earlier who came all the way from Belgium.
Yes.
We're not in London town centre, we're in Kingston, Surrey, and he's come all the way from Belgium, Patrick.
And he's driving back, I think.
And he's driving back tonight, exactly. And
Was.
Alright, mate, fan base
stay for the party, don't stay for the interview. What's going on?
No, I mean that's pure dedication, isn't it? You've got to take your hat off, to people like that, because they live, breathe, fucking eat music, so you've got to take your hat off to them.
But the last time I saw him, I think it was at the what is it? The British Steel
Festival.
Yeah, in the Underworld in Camden Town.
Yeah.
And he said to me at that time, he said, "Oh, you didn't play Mantis and Capture City, my two favourite tracks." And I said, "Next time you see us, we will play them." And tonight he just happened to come along and we played them, and so he was well made up.
Fantastic. And why did you only decide to just do an EP? Like say you're going to do an EP too. Was it the original idea, or was it because the success of this EP? You thought, okay, it's a good response to do another one, or?
I think it's partially, it's mainly to do with the Japanese element, because to be honest, without the Japanese, I wonder if Praying Mantis would still be going, because they've been, 30 years, they've stuck behind the band. They've been
behind our pockets.
I mean, there's millionaires, not. But they have been superb, and really, I think they heard Metamorphosis 1 because it's been released already. They want something a little bit different, so we thought, okay, we'll do a number 2. And hopefully it won't smell too much. And so we'll give that to Japan, and I think we'll give them the sort of time issue, so effectively release in Japan and then maybe sort of follow on with the release, maybe 3 or 4.
And sort of Japan, like he sort of did a download single, "Children of the Earth," towards the recent. The earthquake this size in Japan. So obviously, Japan have been great big fans of Praying Mantis ideas. Like you say, they're very right.
That's how we're repaying that.
They've kept the band alive over the years, haven't they? Even down
that's
years.
right,
definitely.
And we just repay them with this wonderful thing. Children of the Earth, which is like the download single, and all the proceeds went via the Red Cross to help the relief effort. Towards rebuilding the. And we had so many Facebook thank yous from all our fans and so that.
No, it's nice.
But they've helped us out. We helped them out. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And like the album Sanctuary, it's like in many ways it's like the best Praying Mantis album there's been. You've got this new lineup with Mike Farland on vocals, and how has it been for you guys? Did you now feel like Praying Mantis?
It's great. It's a wonderful feeling. But I think we should. I still think we should be bigger than we are. I think we're getting there slowly, but and we're picking up new fans, which is the main thing. The whole thing with the internet. That's helped us immensely to actually cross over to younger fans as well.
Yeah. Obviously, you did a video like "Turn the Tide," and like the hits you're getting on YouTube. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's that one was I think written about a kid that sort of died that we knew really well, and
it was a real life experience.
It was a real life experience, and I think the video, it almost got the message across. I mean, it's a slightly different sort of story that comes across in the video, but nevertheless, it's quite hard hitting, and that message that does come across. It's a lovely song, and hopefully. As you say, it's gaining more and more sorts of momentum.
How many hits has it had so far?
It's around 50,000.
Yeah,
is it? Really?
It goes up all the time.
I checked it.
And like I say, you're going to record another EP for the Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, what do you call it? Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
But when do you expect more new material to play, Mantis?
Well, that's I mean, we were in the process of beginning to write the new stuff in it, and in certain ways this is not getting in the way of it, but it is obviously pushing it back a little bit. So.
In many ways, I don't think it's pushing it back. In many ways, I think it's like bringing the old music to new fans. Is that definitely?
Yes, because you construed.
I think it's a very positive thing what you're doing.
Oh, great.
And like I said, the reviews have been really positive. I mean, it's like every review we've had, there's just said, oh, like lots of bands are doing this, but with the Mantis thing, it's been very refreshing because it's taken the old stuff but bringing it into modern times without interfering with that too much, without sort of going into big production techniques. We've gone into the studio and we've recorded it mostly dry, basic, and we've gone into recorded
well,
the band.
It's sort of current lineup. Let's say you've got a bit of drummer problems, but we sort of ignore that. But it's quite a current lineup. It is the steadiest lineup of Praying Mantis for your whole entire career, really, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It is, yeah. Definitely.
Especially vocalist-wise.
Yeah.
Well, that is the key point. I mean, in terms of identity, when you're trying to put across the songs and having some identity in the music, the vocalist, surely is one of the most fundamental issues.
Yes.
And there, as you say, we've got that sort of nucleus now, and it looks as though that nucleus is staying, and we're going to try.
Yes, that's why it's in the supply. And while you're down in that, it's like this EP.
Jacob's crack.
The first year.
Is this where we throw the bottle at the
Jacob's crack.
You totally give away. That's what my hidden supply normally when I go to a gig. But
it's a special bottle-shaped.
You say this EP is like the 30th anniversary of Praying Mantis, but I don't even realise we're in 2011, and it's actually about 32 years now, isn't it?
It's probably more. I mean, it's really the
well,
first.
officially, 1974, you two were together, and you had the band Praying Mantis in 1974.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, 1972 was the official year. I mean, like, I got the band together at college, and there was a guy called Pete Moore who I used to jam with. So we were into the Quo thing. This is the Quo songs. Chris didn't even know what a bass guitar was at that time.
I still don't.
I only bought it 4 strings.
I actually built a guitar my last year at school, and then when I went into the furniture college, I found there was a musical instrument department there. I just got in with all the guys there, and I converted that first guitar to a bass guitar. And Chris came to that. I said, do you want to play bass? He goes, what is bass?
But flamenco guitar.
Yeah, he was doing like classical guitars, Spanish guitar. I got fucking really jealous of all this like nonsense, because the family used to come around to dinner and Easter time and at Christmas time, and he'd be playing this little concerto, and they'd throw in money and stuff like that. And I'm going, right, I can't have any of this. So I built my guitar and just locked myself away in the room and just like learned rock and roll. A friend of mine had something out, played the old. And of course, then it was status quo. And
Right, you say that.
I got Chris in the band, and we did Caroline. He says, "She hear that bit going boom, 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 boom."
So when you first started,
And that was it. Then Chris came out with this riff. They go boom, dum, 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 dum. And we wrote our first song, Night Child, which was based around that riff, a bass riff. So there you go.
I say you started.
That has never featured on any